Nobody asked me to do this one, so I'm doing this one.
Hentai?
The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh.
Not hentai. I'm not doing that one for you. We got really close to one that we never aired, so and I let that one go. All right. So The Devil is a Part-Timer. There are, I believe, 12 episodes in the first season, which not crazy, at least. Let's see. No, 13? 13 episodes? Yeah, 13 episodes. Sorry. They had to throw you off by adding that one extra.
That's always good. I always like the number 13.
All right. So we have episode 1. The title is The Devil Arrives in Sasazuka. Already names that are...
Yeah, like I'm already way over my head.
I'm already getting the look like... All right, so in episode 1, in another dimension where magic exists, the Dark Lord Satan wages a campaign with his 4 generals, Adramelech, Lucifer, Alciel, and Malakota, to conquer the continent of Ente Isla.
Just like an actual like country?
It's a totally different world, and it's their country.
Like their own little, it's like a whole actual world?
Mm-hmm.
They got like Wi-Fi and like Facebook and stuff?
No, this is like a fantasy world at this point. And annex the human population under his realm of darkness. However, a brave hero appears and leads the human armies against the dark forces, pushing them back into their stronghold. Here, Satan faces off against the hero, but with neither able to decisively defeat the other and his armies crumbling, the Dark Lord retreats, and along with Alciel, opens a dimensional portal and leaves their world, vowing to return and conquer Ente Isla one day. The portal exits in modern-day Sasazuka, Japan.
Sasazuka. Oh, by the way, have you heard of the earthquake in Japan?
Huh.
Yeah, the 7.5 magnitude.
Oh, shit, really?
I hope they're okay. On the western side of Japan. That rarely gets them that heavy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was watching it on CNN, just watching like the whole house, just like, oh, man.
But a lot of their buildings are designed to actually withstand earthquakes. Something that we don't have. Not like you're unless you're in San Francisco. Like there's a lot of buildings, like old buildings that are in Japan that are built with solid wood, but they don't use nails or anything. But they can shift slightly and it doesn't hurt them though.
Cool.
Kind of cool. All right. The portal exits into modern day Sasazuka, Japan, and in addition to being shocked by their new human forms, Satan and Alciel are taken to the nearest police station where Satan learns a bit about the new world. Which, like, it has no magic in it. They're basically in our world. It's
boring. No magic, boring. Believe me, I know.
As events progress, Satan and Alciel get new identities. Sadao Mao.
Sadao Mao. Is that their version of General Tsao? General Tsao's chicken?
Sadao Mao.
Sadao Mao and chicken and rice.
And Shiro Ishia is Alciel at this point, respectively. Secure a residence, open a bank account, and go job hunting in order to survive.
That got me. Open a fucking bank account. I just imagine Satan standing in line. The line ain't moving at all. This old lady is trying to trying to get her coins to exchange for money or for bills, right?
Yeah.
He's like, damn, I gotta get to work.
And while agreeing that Sadao, which is Satan, would work while Shiro, which is Alciel, takes care of the domestic needs.
Quite the platonic.
So sometime later, on his way to his part-time job at McDonald.
McDonald. I wonder what company they're making.
He goes to go work at a McDonald franchise.
By the way, you know there's a game coming out called Infestation 88? You know what it's a monster that's infesting this location.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the monster is? It's Mickey Mouse. The original Mickey Mouse, the original cartoon, the black and white.
The one from Steamboat Willie?
Yeah, it's that Mickey Mouse because it's now domain free.
That's funny.
They wasted no time.
Yeah. Everybody's going to start using that now, though. And I think you can actually use the name Mickey Mouse. You just can't use the current version, right? Mickey Mouse. You could make some weird shit with the old Steamboat Willie.
Mickey Mouse like, oh, this fucking stupid hog. What the fuck, hog? Look at y'all, look at all you sons of bitches, hog.
You're all gonna know.
He can't. He has to haw at the end, or it's not Mickey Mouse.
All right, so Sadao encounters a beautiful scarlet-haired girl at a crosswalk and offers her his umbrella to shield her from the rain. While at McDonald, Sadao not only experiences
Ronald.
They get you every time.
They just basically took Ronald McDonald's name.
McDonald, yeah.
The Mech on front. McRonald's.
Yes. You see how they got their name. And it's not Mick, it's Mig. MG.
McRonald's.
McRonald.
Damn, they went hardcore.
Sadao not only experiences a seemingly random mild earthquake, but faces a dilemma on whether to use his remaining magic to repair the broken fryers,
Hey, man, you got to work. You got no choice.
eventually not getting the chance to. Nonetheless, while impressing his fellow coworker Chiho Sasaki with his people skills as well as the higher ups through his dedication, Sadao is able to secure a permanent position because he was part-time at this point.
Now he's full time. He's coming into the world. The king of hell, assistant manager at McRonald's.
As he excitedly pedals his bike home to tell Shiro, he is once again confronted by the scarlet-haired girl who is revealed to be the hero from his dimension, Emilia Justina.
Was the hero female in the other world?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't get that in the first episode.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Got a Metroid Prime thing going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, you're not supposed to know that because it's supposed to throw you off at the end of this episode that she's the hero.
Okay.
Because he knows it. Like when he sees her and figures and puts two and two together. But he didn't think she'd follow him. Because he looks like a 16-year-old now. So, yeah.
And Japan does love their young protagonists.
He goes from being this gigantically buffed 16-year-old having to get a job at McDonald's. So, we go into episode 2. The title is The Hero Stays at the Devil's Castle for Work Reasons.
Huh.
So, in the wake of Satan and Alcio's departure from Enta Isla, Emilia and her comrades give chase. Back in present-day Japan, Sadao tries to reason with Emilia, now under the identity of Emi Yusa, although she ignores and tries to attack him. Afterwards, they are both arrested and brought to a police station for questioning, where the officer in charge mistakes them for having a couple's quarrel. Because they're getting ready to fight each other, but they look like kids, though. Much to Emi's protest. On their way home, Emi threatens Sadao, although he just shrugs. Following day, while feeling angry that she isn't living a better lifestyle than Sadao, Emi pays him a visit. Shiro, in shock, locks her out but lets her in after Sadao casually explains her circumstances. Because she's running out of magic the same way they are.
She homeless or what?
No, she's got a job too.
Oh.
She has to work as well. Shiro, let's see. After commenting on Sadao's lifestyle, because they're living like bums in an apartment with no furniture or anything.
Jesus Christ.
She explains that along with Archbishop Olba Mia, were going to follow them through the portal before it disappeared. She ended up being the only one transported. Over the next few days, Emi begins stalking Sadao and Shiro around town and learns that they are living good, humble lives. This prompts her
How good the life of the goddamn furniture in your house.
This prompts her to ask him after work if he has considered staying in the human world, to which he boldly states he will return one day to conquer Enta Isla once he has the money.
He saves enough money, yeah.
Just then, they both come under a magical attack from a sniper and hurriedly escape. Sadao realizes they may have a common enemy and blames Emi before leaving for the night. Emi, however, shows up again at his apartment, much to his suspicion, and awkwardly asks if she could stay the night since she lives a distance away and lost her wallet while they were escaping earlier. So she dropped her wallet.
Damn.
Sadao casually gives her sanctuary again to Shiro's shock, while Emi tearfully ponders to herself how she got herself into the situation now. That night, Sadao receives a mysterious text from Chiho warning that more earthquakes are on the way while asking for his advice. So ever since he's been here, there's been more and more earthquakes in Japan.
Interesting. So they're trying to break through from the other side, or?
I think. You'll see. Episode 3 is called The Devil Goes on a Date with His Junior in Shinjuku.
His junior?
Chiho.
What is that?
That girl Chiho.
Oh, okay.
The following morning, the national news broadcast a report mentioning the
They
attack.
got a TV? Got no furniture. They got a TV.
Mentioning the attack that Emmy and Sadao were involved in, with Chiho excitedly prepares for her date with Sadao. Meanwhile, Emmy receives an anonymous call at work from the same enemy who shot at them, who explains that killing both her and Satan would be in Ente Isla's best interests. So it's somebody from their world that's sniping at him.
Damn, he came out like stacked. He's got a sniper rifle. They came out like
Later, the police track down Sadao from his bike left at the scene, and Emmy is forced to vouch for his identity while afterwards warning him about their common enemy. Later, Sadao meets Chiho for their date, which, unbeknownst to them, are followed by a cautious Shiro and suspicious Emmy. So you have Alciel, his underling, following him, and the hero are watching them as they go on their date.
who's the chick he's going out on?
A girl that he works with at McDonald's.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the girl, the hero girl.
No. That's Emmy. This girl's name's Chiho,
Okay.
and with some big tits.
Standard practice.
It really is. Always.
What I shouldn't say. You want to? I'll give you guys. You guys want to see a? Like, okay, so the joke is that Asians always have their characters have massive tits, right?
Yes.
There was a porn star back in the day in Japan, JAV they call him, by the name of Hitomi Tanaka. There you go. Look her up. I promise you are not prepared. I'll show Michael. You can keep talking.
All right, so unbeknownst to them, they're followed by a cautious Shiro and a suspicious Emmy, the latter who drags Shiro into a cafe to eavesdrop on Sadao. During the date, Chiho explains to Sadao that she has been hearing a strange language recently, the language of Ente Isla, unknown to her. She further explains that the speakers were trying to contact someone and made references to a large earthquake soon to occur. Sadao realizes that the phenomena was a magical communication system called Idealink, and that the earthquakes were most likely caused by a sonar spell trying to detect him and Emmy. Good
I
God.
can tell they're real because they're different sizes.
Yeah.
Real artificial ones wouldn't be shaped; they'd be the exact same.
Good God.
So there you go. Apparently, somebody manifested her in real life from all these anime
Yes. That is
because she is exaggeratedly massive. Moving on.
Somebody's wishes came true.
Apparently,
At that time, a shocked Sadao notices Emmy walk into the cafe, and before Chiho can confess to him, she is interrupted by Emmy. Chiho misunderstands Emmy's reasoning for her interruption, and they get into a loud argument, just as a large earthquake suddenly strikes. When Chiho briefly awakens, surrounded by devastation, she reconciles with Emmy, who again warns her about Sadao before knocking her out with a sleep spell.
God dang. Oh, a sleep spell.
Yeah.
I just sucked her in the fuck. I would have. Yeah, I would have just. If I have a limited amount of magic, I would have knocked her out.
Yeah, a sleep spell. Emmy then calls out to Satan, who appears to have
That's what I call my hands. The sleep spell.
who appears from some debris in his demonic form. So he's gotten his form back at this point. Emmy ponders killing him right there with her remaining magic, but Satan shocks her by stating he will get them out of the collapsed mall, leaving Emmy to wonder why he would help them.
Because he's, he now has human emotions, I guess.
No, he still he didn't want to kill his coworker.
Oh.
Chiho.
So it's hard to find, I guess it's hard to find good employees.
Exactly. Episode 4 is called The Hero Experiences Human Warmth. So Satan continues to use his magic to clear the debris while keeping everyone at the mall out of harm's way. While outside the destroyed mall, Emmy has a flashback showing her carefree days with her father in Ente Isla when she was younger, until she was summoned by the church to begin training with the magical sword to slay demons. Soon after, her father was killed by Satan's forces when their village was attacked, leaving her with the resolve to kill him. Back in present day, Sadao learns and informs Emmy that Chiho received magical feedback from the spell he cast on her father, Inspector Sasaki, when he first arrived in Japan. Sadao further explains to her that the earthquake was a deliberate attack on their lives before they both leave. Afterwards, Emmy spends the night at her coworker Rika Suzuki's place, where Rika explains to her how human nature can change in the face of adversity by referencing the Kobe earthquake she experienced as a child. So explaining to Emmy that disasters can make people change, basically.
Yeah.
The next day, Emmy visits Sadao and falls down his apartment building stairs.
God dang. Clumsy, aren't we?
She is. She's the hero, but she's fucking clumsy as fuck. Sadao tries to treat Emmy's injuries, but his uncharacteristic kindness upsets her, and she reveals her reason for wanting him dead. Sadao laments his inability to understand people's feelings until they are interrupted by Shiro and Chiho. So his underling and his coworker.
Shiro and say it again?
Chiho. Chiho.
The other one?
Chiho. And then Shiro.
Too close.
It is Shiro and Chiho.
It's like Chad and Chuck.
Chiho misunderstands Emmy and Sadao being a couple and runs away with a broken heart.
Oh, damn.
Just
the famous misunderstanding from all romantic movies.
Just then, Sadao's landlady, Miki Shiba, comes in and advises they chase after Chiho while referencing her connection to the sonar and Idea Link spells. While tearfully making her way through the street, Chiho encounters a strange person who manifests black wings in front of the passerby. As Sadao, Emmy, and Shiro approach from afar, an explosion occurs and the winged person takes to the air. As Sadao and company climb the rubble, Sadao acknowledges the person as the demon general Lucifer. So Lucifer has come down now from this other world.
Who else would it be? The one with the highest ranking name in all of demon lore.
True, but
Lucifer.
Sadao, who is Satan, is ahead of him.
Yeah, but I'm saying like who the villain would be.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it would be Lucifer.
Lucifer. And Sadao Satan. Sadao Mal.
Sadao Mal.
Episode 5 is called The Devil and the Hero Save Sasazuka. So, Emmy asks Lucifer how he survived their perilous previous battle on Enta Isla, but Sadao deduces that he was aided by her former comrade, Olba, who has promised to return Lucifer to heaven in exchange for his help. While Olba reveals himself to Emmy's shock, Lucifer proceeds to attack Sadao and company with Shiro taking a hit. After the group flee, Sadao explains to Emmy that Lucifer draws his magic from negative emotions, and hence was responsible for the string of muggings in Sasazuka. So he's been mugging people.
He's just been robbing people? So even he has to get some kind of job.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And the negative emotions give it magical energy, basically.
So he found a loophole.
Yeah. As they get cornered, Sadao teleports himself and Emmy to the crowded Sasazuka station. Here, the dumbstruck crowd looks on as Lucifer seemingly kills Sadao with a magical bullet and then destroys the overhead transport bridge. The debris head to crush Emmy and Chiho, but Satan emerges in his demonic form and, using the negative emotions of the onlookers to fuel his magic, saves Emmy and Chiho. So negative emotions give him his original form back as well. So like Lucifer, he can use the same ability.
Cool.
He just didn't know he could. He finally figured that one out. After, Satan sets up a magical barrier, knocking all of the civilians unconscious, while Amelia calls forth her magic and engages Lucifer in aerial combat. Alciel then shows up, healed, in his demonic form, and joins the battle. Chiho looks on at the incredible scene, at which point Satan finishes Olba and then Lucifer with a multi-layered magical punch. Where it's like these magical circles start appearing, it's like 1 and 2, then 3, and then it just goes all the fucking way back to the edge of the city.
Damn.
Just all these magical circles. In the aftermath, Sadao and company officially introduced themselves to Chiho, so now she knows. Just then, Emmy's comrades from Enta Isla, Emeralda and Albertio. I guess so, yeah.
Alberto.
Albertio.
I guess it is Hispanic sounding.
They arrive through a portal, reunite with Emmy, and explain the corrupt state of the church back on Enta Isla. Afterwards, at Sadao's apartment, Albertio explains his use of the sonar and Idea Link spells, which were intercepted by Chiho. Meanwhile, Satan uses his remaining magic to restore the city along with erasing the civilians' minds. Later, at McRonald, Sadao explains to
Can't get over that.
McRonald. Sadao explains to Chiho that he has enough left to erase her mind, causing her to yell at him, saying that why would she want Sadao to erase her memory, instead of
I'm all out of luck. I'm just like the romantic music starts playing.
yes. Episode 6 is The Devil Climbs the Stairway to School.
I get that GED.
At the church's headquarters on Enta Isla, a report is made by a girl stating that the Archbishop Olba's previous report that he killed the Dark Lord, Emilia, Emeralda, and Albertia were false, and they discuss the consequences of letting the truth leak to the rest of the church that they do remain alive. Meanwhile, back in Japan, Lucifer, now wanted by the police in connection with recent muggings,
Fuck.
moves in with Sadao and Shiro under the name Hanzo.
There's a bad guy.
Yeah, but he got fucked up by Sadao. And since it's one of Sadao's underlings anyway in the other world, all he did is smack him in the face where his face is still bruised and swollen.
Why did he try to kill him then?
That's why he didn't kill him.
No, why didn't Lucifer?
Oh, because that priest, Olba, said that he could get him back to heaven.
Oh, she lied to him.
Yeah, he lied to him, yeah. The other priest. The priest was trying to kill both Satan and the hero.
Okay.
So now you have Lucifer. He looks like a little kid. 12, 13.
God dang.
Super skinny. So he's going by the name of Hanzo now instead of Lucifer. While becoming proficient using the internet. Through the internet, Hanzo learns of a rumor that a paranormal activity in the form of a portal activations to Enta Isla occur in an abandoned classroom at a local high school, which turns out to be Chiho's school.
That's storytelling for you.
Yeah.
It had to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sadao and Shiro decide to investigate in the hopes of harvesting magical power from the portal. That night, along with Chiho, the group goes into the school but are followed by Emi, who claims she has to keep an eye on Sadao, despite she being able to return to Enta Isla at any time.
She can leave whenever she wants? The hell are you struggling there for then?
Oh no. Although Sadao and company try and fail to abandon Emi,
Eat rotten noodles and minimum wage. Go home. Ramen noodles will never. This is gonna be a staple forever.
Yeah.
As long as there's a dollar store, there'll be ramen noodles.
There's always it's gonna be Top Ramen, or it's gonna be.
They make so much business.
They have to have a low overhead too.
Right, just dump that in. It's done.
It's done.
Put little packets. There you go.
We're good. Here's the salt that'll kill you before. But it tastes so good.
God, it's crazy how much ramen noodles is just a staple of lower income living.
Yeah.
But man, if you know how to cook the ramen noodles, you'll be good to go.
You can spice it up.
Exactly. Make that shit delicious. Don't be ashamed to be, lower income. Always do better. You can live well, on a low income.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
You don't need a huge TV or a internet service or streaming services.
No. You can save up that money.
Save that money up. Eat some ramen.
Be a little dicky and say save that money. All right. So as they're trying and failing to abandon Emi, which results in her accidentally destroying a science model. Eventually, the group reaches the abandoned classroom. It turns out that it had been the base of operations for both Hanzo and Olba prior to their respective betrayals and alliance. So the reason that people thought there was a portal there was because Lucifer was living there.
Oh, Jesus.
Where he was like one of those neats where he's got food all around him and computers and shit. Where just half eating shit and everything in there. Bags of chips just open like a slob.
Wait, if he knew that was his spot, why'd he go with him?
He didn't. He sent that.
Why?
Hanzo then asks that Sadao to retrieve his PS Vita game.
Jesus Christ.
While they were there, which has been left by accident. So he told him that this place was haunted and that it had all these issues, so that way they could go get his PS Vita.
Did you get it though? They must have been livid.
This angers the group, although Hanzo claims that he merely neglected to tell them that he had lived there. Later, while the group is outside, the same girl who had made the report to the church of Ente Isla is seen through the classroom window, indicating she had opened a portal. Later, a new tenant moves into Sadao's apartment building, and Sadao catches her as she falls down the stairs and passes out. So another girl that falls.
They should have fallen downstairs.
Kinda, yes. Why they struggle at McRonald.
Like, you can always tell about a writer when it's the same trope over and over.
Yes. Episode 7 is called The Devil's Budget is Saved by Neighborliness. Suzuno Kamazuki, who had fallen down the apartment stairs, comes to introduce herself to Sadao, Shiro, and Hanzo the next morning and gives them a box of udon noodles as a friendly gesture.
They must have been fucking living it up like noodles.
Elsewhere, Emi receives a box containing bottles of a sacred power-boosting drink from Emeralda in the other world. As she continues to stalk Sadao's apartment, Emi spots Suzuno helping Hanzo with chores and goes to covertly investigate. Although she is caught up when Suzuno exits the apartment and Emi falls down the stairs while Wayne,
Christ.
she fell down too. They're like the hero side are fucking clothing as shit. Back in Sadao's apartment, Suzuno introduces herself to Emi and thinks that she and Sadao are in some kind of relationship because of their unreserved manner when speaking to each other, which she denies. Emi then speaks with Suzuno outside and seemingly misunderstands that Suzuno might like Sadao, prompting her to warn Suzuno not to get too close to Sadao. Like, she thinks that all these girls are falling for her. You got Chiho, you got Suzuno, you got...
Man, just trying to make some rent money. Ain't got time for love.
Exactly. Although Suzuno already knows who Emi is, being from Ente Isla herself, unbeknownst to Emi. Although Sadao leaves for work, where he is made shift supervisor, Suzuno gives him a handmade boxed lunch. While Emi stakes outside of McRonald, Emeralda calls out to ask the results of the magic drink, and relays that there is peace on Ente Isla for now while rumors are being spread. Emeralda further adds that the church is currently looking for a missing Olba. They can't find that priest that had attacked him in the couple of previous episodes before, warning that people may be looking for her as well. As Sadao takes a break at McDonald's, Chiho gets jealous of the packed lunch given to him by Suzuno. Meanwhile, while buying food at a convenience store, Emilia is attacked by a masked man wielding a large scythe and using magic, which nullifies her magic sword in a counterattack. In the aftermath, while wondering who the masked man was, Emi receives a call from Chiho, venting her jealousy over Sadao's boxed lunch.
She's jealous that the other girl gave him the lunch, or is she just that he has food? Is what I'm wondering.
You're supposed to be just broke. You're not supposed to have food.
Right.
Episode 8 is called The Hero Enters the Fray. So Chiho and Emi visit Sadao's apartment and are surprised to find Suzuno there helping Sadao and company with their domestic chores. Much to Chiho's shock, later, as Sadao walks Chiho home, she confesses her feelings for him while depreciating the fact that he is a demon, since she already fell in love with him. Just then, Suzuno overhears Chiho's confession, causing Chiho to run away with embarrassment. Suzuno follows up by asking Sadao about his own response to being loved by people and is visibly surprised by his sincere response. Afterwards, Suzuno meets Emi at the Sazuzuka station, and they both inadvertently reveal their misunderstood intentions towards Sadao over the events of the past few days.
The famous romantic trope.
Yeah.
The final, what is it, like, airing of grievances.
Yeah.
Misunderstandings.
Yep.
It's like, look, he was like just a friend and all that. Whoever wrote this took the relatable aspects of typical slice of life movies.
Yes.
And tweaked them to fit into a supernatural story.
Yes.
Clever man.
Afterwards, Suzuno introduces herself as a resident of Ente Isla. Crestia Bell is her real name, not Suzuno, and informs Emi that she was sent under orders of by the Church of Ente Isla to investigate any leads on the missing Olba, with one of the priests or whatever, again, from earlier. Susanoo further asks that Emmy return to Ente Isla to confront the church about the cover-up regarding the actions of her superior, put the lives of everyone in the underground mall in danger just to kill her and Sadao.
Underground mall?
Yeah.
So like fun?
Yeah. Like where it's under completely.
I want to go around the underground mall.
Dallas has stuff like that.
I want to be a dwarf.
You live in the underworld.
And
sorry, not the underground world. Not
retake Moria.
Before she leaves, Emmy advises Susanoo to be leery of Sadao and company, finding out her true agenda. Meanwhile, a new fast food restaurant, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Jesus. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Boldly opens up across the street from McDonald's and its manager.
That shouldn't be too bad. I mean, they make burgers, they make chicken. It's not really competition.
And its manager, Mitsuki Saru, pops into McDonald to apparently check out the competition, although Sadao counters by having Shiro do spying of his own. Finally, Susanoo waits for Emmy after work and expresses her desire to visit Sadao's workplace at McDonald, while Rika misunderstands the interaction between Susanoo and Emmy as a lover's quarrel over Sadao, much to Emmy's irritation.
More goddamn misunderstandings.
Yeah, because it's that friend that Emmy spent the night with that one day. That girl, she's like, oh, lover's quarrel.
Jesus Christ.
Episode 9 is called The Hero Experiences a Fray.
A fray.
A fray. Rika, Emmy, and Susanoo make their way over to Hatagaya to discover the Tanabata Festival, so in full gear. Rika, still fully enthusiastic over her perceived lover's quarrel between Emmy and Susanoo, suggests that she first learn all of the details of the conflict by stopping for a bit inside the newly opened Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's like, God, let's go to Kentucky.
Let's celebrate Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Here, as Emmy frantically tries to reject Rika's notion of her and Sadao being a couple, she starts verbally insulting Sadao, but is stopped by an irritated Shiro who has been nearby doing reconnaissance at Kentucky for Sadao. So he's got Alciel, the person that goes by Shiro now, over at Kentucky Fried Chicken doing research.
Research or trying to check the competition?
He's just over there shoving shit into his face.
You hungry?
Because he gave him some money. He's like, here, use this. He's like, money?
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have a job, does he?
No. He doesn't. After brief introductions and a bit of chatting, Ashia is able to clear up Rika's misunderstanding before Emmy and Sadao by using a metaphor to describe the history between them. Meanwhile, as McDonald's business begins losing to Kentucky for the festival.
How can they lose to Kentucky?
Because it's new.
It's chicken and they're burgers, aren't they?
Yes.
So it shouldn't really, it should, but like if when it's new, right, it gets over saturated, I guess.
Yes.
But then it evens out.
Well, this is only a few days in, so
they don't have to worry. They just had to weather the storm.
Sadao struggles to decide what to do, but eventually decides to have his employees keep themselves busy until an opportune moment for business shows itself. Later, Shiro, Emmy, Susanoo, and Rika visit McDonald, with Rika having a less than favorable first impression of Sadao, much to his irritation. Afterwards, Sadao tries and fails in various schemes to market McDonald.
You got fucking Satan trying to put up posters.
Yeah. He'll try anything to get business.
Like, damn it, I gotta get this business up and running.
To market McDonald to the festival's patrons. But they comes up with an ingenious idea of having the franchise be part of the festival itself. Sadao then calls up a friend to deliver some bamboo plants for display in front of the franchise and has his staff decorate it, finally revealing that they will allow the festival's patron to hang wishes on the plants and offer a free drink to whosoever does so.
Fucking genius.
A plan which successfully gets McDonald flooded with customers. While this is happening, Susanoo notices a strange purple aura hanging over the crowd in front of McRonald, adding to her suspicion of Sadao. She's like, the fuck is that aura?
He's changing his complete negative to positive.
Episode 10 is called The Devil and the Hero Take a Break from the Daily Routine.
Jeez.
They both work daily jobs.
Everyone,
She works in a call center. He works at McDonald's.
Fucking McRonald trying to.
She's customer support.
He's trying to drum up business to sell burgers.
Following the success of the previous day's business, Mayumi informs Sadao that she has selected him based on a request by the McRonald branch at the Fushima Park to assist them with business during a fair. That night, Hanzo, Lucifer, informs Sadao that they might be able to harvest magic off of people's fear by investigating the advertised haunted house at the fair. While Susanoo eavesdrops on their conversation, which she relates to Emmy as a precaution. Later, Chiho invites Emmy to the fair, who also brings along Susanoo, after being suspicious of Sadao and company's intentions. While Sadao continues being busy with his work at the Parks McRonald and impressing its manager there. He's trying so hard.
He just got outsourced for another McDonald's. Jeez.
To fix their McRonald.
Yeah, just drum up their business.
Oh, it's so sad. Chiho tries and fails to get Sadao's attention. Afterwards, the girls decide to check out the rest of the festival, visiting the haunted house, which proves to be too much for them, followed by the reptile exhibit where both Emmy and Chiho reveal their fear of reptiles, although Susanoo remarks on having eaten them before as a delicacy in the southern part of Inta Isla, before she is stopped by Emmy. She's going to reach in there and just eat one of them.
Jesus. Raw?
I guess.
God dang.
While exploring the exhibit, Emmy bumps into a maintenance worker, causing him to drop his keys. These keys are subsequently picked up by an escaped circus monkey, humorously called Sadao, much to Sadao's irritation. So the monkey's got the same name.
Yeah, it's like fucking bullshit.
Before being found, it revealed that the monkey had unlocked the crocodile exhibit. The little fucker just went over there and unlocked it. This allows the beast to escape and sneak into the water park. As the crowd erupts into panic, Emmy, Chiho, and a stunned Susanoo watches as Satan absorbs the fear and chants a spell to calm the beast, thus saving the fair and leaving Susanoo to echo Emmy's previous thoughts of why he would save the humans. Afterwards, as the girls head home, Susanoo feels the presence of a white-winged being watching her, which disappears as soon as she turns around to look.
White-winged now?
Mm-hmm. You have Lucifer, which is the black-winged, now you have a white-winged one. So we have episode 11, The Hero Stays True to Her Convictions, is the title of it. So Shiro continues to suffer from his illness, while Miki sends boxes of merchandise she imported from Hawaii for Sadao and company to sell at a bazaar in the shopping district. So their landlord found stuff and sent it back to him to sell. And Shiro's sick. His second in command is sick at the moment, so bedridden. He's malnourished.
Oh.
Like he's got some kind of cold and he can't get over it now.
Jesus Christ. And I'm dying of pneumonia.
Meanwhile, Susanoo has a flashback which shows her job as an executioner of the church to kill members of the rebelling Allied Knight Order. Eventually, Chiho and Emmy show up at Sadao's apartment building and, along with Susanoo, help him move all of the merchandise over to the shopping district before he leaves for the shift at his shift at McDonald. Here, Susanoo leaves the group and has a meeting with a hooded person involving her mission to kill Sadao, to which she shows hesitation. Another flashback shows her eavesdropping on the church's leaders while during a meeting on Inta Isla, where they conspire to use inconspicuous means to kill their enemies, to which Crestia, or Susanoo, and tries to justify her intentions of killing Sadao. Chiho, brought to tears, vehemently defends Sadao because of his kindness. Emmy interjects and remains against killing Sadao, instead striving to fight for the world where everyone can live in peace, a statement which visibly enrages Susanoo, who abruptly walks off. While Emmy and Chiho walk home and ponder what happened, they are attacked by a masked man with a scythe before them, who reveals himself to be the fallen angel Sariel. before managing to overwhelm Amelia in battle.
Wait, so do they have a higher plane in the other world or this world?
In the other world.
Huh.
They're coming through this portal.
And they have a higher plane in that world?
Mhm.
So does that follow the biblical fallen angels and landing on the...
Not to that level, no.
No.
It's more of a broad thing, because a lot of the angels are just as bad as the demons. It's kind of like, Supernatural, where the angels are no better than the demons themselves. Chiho tries to call Sadao, but is knocked unconscious by Crestia. At the same time, Sadao learns from Chiho's mother that Chiho didn't arrive home, and that has Hanzo track Emi's location via GPS, but instead finds Susanoo moving rapidly towards the city hall. Also learning that Mitsuki identity is a forgery. Sadao hurriedly heads to the city hall to rescue Chiho, while Olba regains consciousness at the hospital. So he's been fucked up and
just beat the hell out of him and left him in a hospital.
Well, after that one attack with those multiple layers of circles and he got punched. Yeah, he didn't wake up for a long ass time.
Jesus.
Episode 12 is called The Devil Carries Out His Duties. So Shiro steps out of the hospital room for a bit and notices an unconscious police officer. While investigating, he is violently punched into submission by a newly awakened Olba, who learns of Sadao's residence from Shiro's insurance card.
Jesus.
Atop City Hall, Sariel sadistically begins torturing Amelia in order to obtain the better half, which is the sword that she holds, although it refuses to manifest in his presence. Meanwhile, Satan arrives and destroys Sariel's barrier using his remaining magic. At that point, Crestia attacks him with a magic mallet and is surprised to learn that Satan and his fellow demons had known about her since she first moved into Villa Rosa, their apartment complex, because they live in an apartment complex. Not having any magic, Satan takes a beating from Crestia, but gets up nonetheless to rescue Chiho from Sariel, leaving Crestia to realize that unlike Satan, she had abandoned her friends. At the same time, Olba visits Lucifer and seeks to re-establish their contract. As Sariel begins to reveal a perverted nature, Amelia claims that Satan will show up and save Chiho because of his natural instinct to protect his coworkers, which is mocked by Sariel. Much to Chiho and Amelia's relief, Satan does arrive, but is easily overwhelmed by Sariel due to his lack of magic. Elsewhere, Olba replenishes his magic with Amelia's drink and casts a spell which enlarges the moon, which increases Sariel's magic, which subsequently throwing the city into mass panic. The panic grants Satan an enormous magical boost, but Sariel remains confident in his power. So, they created the moon to increase Sariel's power, but that created fear in the city, so then Satan gets power from the fear.
I'm like, that moon's real big today.
It's like, what the fuck?
Why does that increase Sariel's powers?
It's something that, like, where he gets his abilities from the lunar light.
Is he a werewolf?
No. It's one of his angel abilities, I guess.
Oh.
Let's see here. The panic grants, grants Satan an enormous magical boost, but Sariel remains confident of his power, even as Crestia decides to side with Satan. Elsewhere, Lucifer knocks Olba out, canceling the moon spell. After deceiving him into throwing the city into panic for Satan's advantage. So he let Olba cast a spell to enlarge the moon, and then knocked his ass out. It feels like if you had this little nerdy kid just punch you in the face. So he got hit by Satan and by Lucifer now. Finally, Satan and Sariel engage in an epic aerial battle, which destroys half of the city and ultimately ends with Sariel's defeat to Satan's demon sword.
It's quite half the city, huh?
Yes, half of the city.
Hopefully McRonald's is okay.
And now, last episode of this season, season 2 is out though. Episode 13, The Devil and the Hero Do Some Honest Hard Work.
Yeah, they've been doing that forever.
At this point, yes, they have.
They're working hard as hell.
So Chiha has a strange dream where Satan leaves Earth and returns into Isla, leaving her behind much to her agony. While recalling the dream to Sadao the next day, he confirms that he doesn't have enough magic to return since he used it to repair the entire city from his and Serial's battle the previous day.
So the city's back to normal?
Yeah.
You got a real status quo they set every episode.
Yes. At the same time, they discover Serial in McRonald's freezer since Sadao's magical bamboo had redirected his portal. The bamboo trees that they set up in front of McRonald's, since they had a magical nature and he used his abilities to create them, it redirected the portal that Serial tried to use to escape from the last episode to McRonald's freezer.
Oh, Jesus.
So he's in the freezer at this point.
Oh, he's sitting in the freezer?
McRonald's. Serial immediately falls head over heels for Mayumi, much to his disgust. Or, sorry, much to her disgust.
He's like, I don't like her, but I don't know why. Fuck.
And she's like, oh, because he's a creep. Meanwhile, Emi also has a strange dream where Satan conquers Sasazuka. As she goes to visit Sadao and company, Shiro asks Sadao for some time off, which makes her suspicious, causing her to enlist Emeralda to see where they might be up to. Later, Emi notices numerous boxes being delivered to Sadao's apartment and grows even more suspicious. At work, Sadao suddenly asks Mayumi for a shift change, which causes Chiho to fear that he might be returning to Enta Isla. But Sadao apologetically keeps their motives hidden from her. Chiho and Emi decide to follow Sadao the next day to find out what they have been up to, and discover that that he and along with Shiro have taken extra jobs to pay for Hanzo's GPS trackers, which has saved them from Serial.
They're working extra jobs. They're working extra jobs to get more GPS trackers, so you keep their friends safe.
Yep. As Emi questions Sadao on the boxes, they return to the Villa Rosa to discover that Hanzo had been caught in a purchasing scam whereby he was tricked into buying useless items.
Jesus.
So Lucifer, being on the computer all the time, bought all this shit because of a scam.
So now they're all fucked.
Sadao and Emi head over to the retailer to claim a refund and discover that Shiro has been working there, along with a threatening manager who refuses to refund due to a contract Hanzo signed. Emi is able to resolve the situation.
Is he 13?
Yeah. He's like, in this world, he's young.
So that's a voided contract, I would say.
Yep. Emi is able to resolve the situation via a cooling off period in the contract, which means that since he's under the age of 17 or 18 in Japan,
okay,
it doesn't go through.
I figured as much, because I mean, it would be ridiculous. You can't hold a child to a contract that they don't fully understand.
Exactly. So eventually, Shiro and Sadao celebrate their success by going out to a restaurant. Well, everyone goes back to living.
I can afford to go out to a restaurant. That must be nice.
I think Emi paid for it.
Oh. Does she make more than...
She makes a lot more than him.
Yeah.
Because she works as like a tech support.
She's over here making bank, and he's over here working at McDonald's.
She's got her own nice apartment. She can buy new clothes. I can't even do that.
Got a car. How many does he have the same car? I want to see a scene where he's just sifted through the thrift store.
No, Alciel does that.
Does he?
Yeah. She goes through those cheap shops, and you have to buy food on certain days.
Jesus.
So they celebrate at the restaurant while everyone goes back to living normally in the human world.
You know what I think? I think the writer went through that in his life.
Probably.
And he just decided to pour it into a story.
It's a good story though.
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell when they're good stories, when it sounds so believable.
Yeah.
That the more than likely the writer has had the situation himself, minus the supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
But that's always good stories.
In the epilogue, Sadao is forced to walk home through the rain after work. While waiting at the crosswalk, Emi approaches and gives him a new umbrella as a replacement for the one that he had lent her in episode 1.
Under my umbrella.
Sadao thanks her and she welcomes him with a smile.
Oh,
that's how season one ends.
That's cute.
But just watching him struggle so hard.
You can't make ends meet.
It's so fucking difficult. But yep, that's season 1 of The Devil is a Part-Timer. Season 2, I think, fell off a little bit.
That's a lie, though. He's not a part-timer. He's a full-time assistant manager.
Started off as a part-timer. All right.